Hello, and welcome to this double-take move for AIX migration demonstration. Double-take move for AIX is an incredibly versatile migration offering that blends Vision Solutions' state-of-the-art replication technology for IBM AIX with expert migration services. The solution allows you to migrate from one server, whether it be physical, virtual, or in a cloud environment, to any other server, again, physical, virtual, or in a cloud environment. And you get all of this with minimal downtime and an incredibly easy workflow for setting up the replication and migration. In my environment, I'll show you the migration of one AIX logical partition to another logical partition. These partitions don't have to be physically next to each other, and they don't even have to have similar storage solutions. Double-take Move's WAN-optimized host-based replication technology allows you to migrate across virtually any distance from on-premise to public cloud environments. The AIX level also does not have to be the same on the servers. It's possible to migrate from a lower release of AIX to a newer release, allowing you to upgrade the hardware and the operating system at the same time, with migration verification and audit steps along the way to ensure that your migration is successful. The currently supported versions of Double-take Move for AIX support AIX levels going all the way back to AIX 5.2 and up to AIX 7.1. Truly migration on your terms, anything to anything. So let's go ahead and get started. Your migration services expert will first install Double-take for AIX software on both the source and target servers with a 30-day license. The source is the current production server, and the target is the server you want to migrate to. The Vision Solutions Portal Browser-Based Graphical Administrative Console, or VSP for short, is also installed. You can install VSP either on Windows or AIX to administer Double-take Move for AIX. In this case, I chose to install and use VSP on my target AIX server. What you see in front of you is VSP, a single pane of glass interface that allows you to monitor and control all of your migrations from within a central admin console. Under Enterprise Status, you can see intuitive red, yellow, and green indicators of the high-level status of all of the migrations that are underway. After launching VSP from a web browser, your migration expert would use wizards to create the basic replication configuration, including an instance and a replication group. The wizards discover and auto-populate certain values in order to minimize the risk of input error. I've already performed these configuration steps, so I just have to click into the ERP migration instance. This shows detailed information about the instance, including the single replication group I have already configured. If we take a quick look at that replication group, you can see that it contains details such as which file systems and logical volumes are replicated, which servers are the source and target servers, whether we're using WAN-optimized network compression to preserve WAN bandwidth, and how much replication buffer space should be used. There's nothing else left to do other than start up replication. The first thing replication has to accomplish is getting the dataset replicated to the new server. The initial baseline replication, as well as the ongoing replication, occurs in the background while the production application is serving your business. Using efficient, asynchronous replication technology with built-in network compression, replication can occur in accordance with the availability of your network resources. If despite these WAN-optimized replication options, your bandwidth might still not be sufficient for migration in a WAN environment, the initial replication can be established using some sort of storage media, such as tape. After replication has started, the Replication tab is used for monitoring the replication. You may also want to configure email notifications for a lights-out monitoring operation. After the initial replica is established, ongoing replication will keep the two servers continuously in sync until the point of cutover. Once the initial replica has been completed and the product is in steady-state replication, you can perform pre-cutover migration auditing using virtual role swap, during which you'll run the database and the application stack in a virtualized storage environment. You'll find this option under the Recovery tab, referred to as Snapshot. One point I want to emphasize here is that this testing with no production impact greatly contributes to achieving minimal downtime migrations with double take move for AIX. And you can repeat this virtual role swap testing as many times as you need to. Once your pre-cutover verification using the virtual role swap feature is complete and the application and database teams have run their acceptance test harness, you're ready to initiate the cutover. You'll find that under the Procedures tab. You are presented with three options: planned failover, unplanned failover, and failback. Each of these procedures is tailored to a particular situation, and only the one that's appropriate to the replication state will be highlighted and enabled, again to minimize the risk of errors. Procedures are essentially digitized versions of the steps you'd find in your DR runbook. They're VSP's way of ensuring that you're using industry best practices to perform the migration cutover. The limited number but logical steps ensure that your server is migrated with minimal downtime while maintaining the highest level of confidence in the migration. When ready to cut over, you would stop the application and the database on the old production server, ensuring that all user activity is completed. You'd leave the old server in its current state as part of your contingency planning. Once the database is stopped, the double take move expert initiates the planned failover step by clicking Run. As you can see, the failover is divided into logical steps, each separated by an opportunity for you to confirm that you want to proceed. The rationale for this staged cutover is to give you full control. At each step, you're notified of what is going to happen, and you have the opportunity to perform any verification that you find necessary to be confident that the cutover is progressing as planned. It also gives you the opportunity to only perform the next step once you're ready for it. More about this in a bit. We'll continue by clicking OK. The file systems on the old server are now unmounted, and the process is waiting for your approval to continue. If there were any problems with this step, VSP would indicate the error condition and would show you the error message, so you may also decide to run additional verifications outside of the migration product. We will click Resume. After this second step is complete, replication is completely stopped on the old server and all data has been synchronized. On to the third step, which turns the new server into production. After the third step, I'll pause for a second. You may have noticed that the old server's database, application, and storage were stopped as part of the second step. It's not altered in any way during the third step. And why is this important? Because this means that the old production server is there in its pristine condition. If there's any problem with the cutover, you have the option of readily cutting back to it and aborting the migration. This is a very important component for contingency planning. So now we'd go to the new server, start up the database in the application, and turn the server over to business users. If it turned out that something really was overlooked during the pre-cutover testing, the original server is still untouched from the last time it was running the database. You have the option to decide that you want to reverse the cutover, but you first want to replicate all the changes back to the original production server. In that case, you'd simply run the next two steps in the procedure, which I'll do now. The option of reverse replication is yet another great tool in your contingency planning toolbox, which helps you to mitigate risks you would commonly associate with complex migrations. Furthermore, if you decide that you now need high availability or disaster recovery protection for your new server by repurposing the old production server as a DR server, you don't need to reinstall software, as the code base of Double Take Move for AIX is the same as that of Double Take Recover Now for AIX. Just by adding a permanent license key and reconfiguring the replication group such that the new production server is designated as the source server, you have a fully functioning high availability and disaster recovery solution in place. And this brings us to the end of this demonstration of Double Take Move for AIX, and we've accomplished a server migration with minimal downtime. To learn more about Vision Solutions migration solutions, or to stay informed, give us a call at the numbers on your screen. I'd like to thank you for watching this video and have a great day.